Hello, Luxees. Welcome back to the Luxury Live Show. And this is the first time we're doing it on my channel back in 2024. So welcome. Happy New Year. If you follow the Luxury Live Show, this live stream, we do it together in collaboration. I'm with my co-host, Kat L. I'm your host, Amy. And we do it on my channel on one week and her channel on another week. So we alternate between our channels. So today we decided to talk about Phoebe Philo. Actually, I've been thinking about Phoebe Philo's collection since December because it's been kind of all the hype and we didn't have a chance to talk about it until now. So we did some slides for you. I picked many, and then Kat picked a few less, but that's okay. We're all going to discuss our picks and what we think about the collection. So let me just share my screen. And
I can see it.
Here you go. All right. It was a very interesting collection. I told Kat that, you know what, I came in with a blank slate. I had no idea how the collection looked like because I didn't look at it at all. Although I kind of see it on Instagram, like on social media, people posting about how the collection is brand new. She's launching her new brand. And there were a couple of unboxings, but I didn't even really watch those videos. So I really came on this whole idea without any judgment or anything. And I said, you know what, we're going to look at it and then now we're going to, give our opinions. But before we go into that, those of you who follow us would have seen the new calendar. I've just posted it today as well, just to remind everyone of all the topics that we have this month, as well as we moved one of the members to the 27th/28th. All right. Before we begin, if you guys have seen the collection, let us know how you feel about it. If you haven't, well, we're going to look at it together and then you can let us know how you feel about it. And the way you communicate with us, it's much easier if you type with a bunch of question marks before your remark or your question, because we're on a different platform. Just to give you a little bit of introduction on Phoebe Philo, if you guys don't already know her, she's an English fashion designer. She's age 50 right now. So she's kind of like our modern, like today, not up and coming. She's been really respected as a designer. She joined when she was about 23, 24 years old in 1997 as a design assistant to Stella McCartney at the time, who was the creative director at Chloe. And then she succeeded her as the creative director in 2001, 2001 to 2006. Then she became the creative director at Celine from 2008 to 2017. And she made Celine a brand that was phenomenally successful with her bags, such as the trapeze, the luggage tote, the trio. And then when she left, after she left Celine in 2021, she announced that she would launch her new brand. And that's the new brand that we're going to look into. So her first debut, which was only available online, was October 30th. So this is sort of like her general idea of who she is. And these are just some of the, if you go on her website, you're going to see the portfolio, sort of like the vibe of her collection. And just looking off of these pictures, and I know, Kat, you also looked at the collection when we did these slides. What was your impression? Like, what did you think about the collection overall?
It's not really my vibe, to be honest. I think it's kind of, I don't know. I couldn't find the words. It's like it's trying to be okay. Overall vibe. It's very cool. It's very laid back. But at the same time, there were fun pieces. Like there were some furry pieces, like the purple one that I can see. But I can't find the right words for it. I feel like my opinion about the vibe is a little biased now because I did the typical thing: check out the item, look at the price, and I think that made my comment to her collection a little. It's like it's not fair anymore, because when I looked at the prices for what the design was, I just could not. I couldn't like put words to it. I thought it was a
You can
little bit too
appreciate it.
expensive. Yeah.
I understand. So the first impression I had, like I said, I came with a clean slate. The first impression I had of her collection was that it was very editorial. It was so high fashion that I feel like the general population, not the people that are like in the either in the like they go to fashion shows, like not people like that, but the general population and just the general folks that don't wear these super high fashion pieces won't relate as much, just from the standpoint of the style. Also, it's her cutting is a lot more oversized and just a lot of fabric, which is a beautiful flow. Like it's the texture, the way it's cut, it's very flowy and has like that oversized coolness, which again, a lot of people, general people, unless you're very tall and you just like this vibe, is very hard to pull off. So those were my first impression. And of course the price, I noticed that too. It was it was kind of crazy. But I can sort of see where she came from, because she's definitely proven herself with her experiences. And also, I think that is the reason why she was able to price it at those price points. Like the way I think is, if she started too low, then it's harder to come back up. And like that's also it's all about branding, right? She has a high reputation. And she's done a lot of great things at the two major brands that she's worked at. So I can see where she's coming from. I just don't I don't necessarily think that it appeals to the general population, but definitely to the people who are very high fashion. I think those people are her target market, in my opinion.
Yeah.
But
Agree.
anyway,
It's
we'll
very high
still
fashion. It's
very.
very if I look at this, if I was flipping a magazine, if people still flip magazines, I would stop at these pages. I'll be like, wow, it's so artistic, and everyone just looks gorgeous, even though it's very simple.
And very minimal as well.
Mm-hmm.
Like no logos, all just very neutral palette. If even if there was a pop of color, it's just like a red maybe. So yeah, super neutral, super minimal, kind of cool, modern, oversized. Which, you know, when her collection came out, it was described as having the quiet luxury vibe, which I think it sort of coincided with the timeline as well, since it came out just in October, right? Last year. But anyway, we'll go through some of our picks, and I put Kat's picks first. So I'll let Kat take the
Okay,
stage.
so I think I only picked three main things, if I recall correctly. A bag, some shoes, and I think there was a pair of pants. But yeah, this bag, again, so because it's so simple, it took me a while. So the first time I saw it on the website, I wasn't impressed. But the more I look at it, I thought, okay, I get it. It's a tote, fine. It has, the strings that come out a little bit like her mini luggage, right? They also had a little bit of those, the zip was coming out a bit. So kind of a little bit of the element. And then this logo, this, not a logo, but the gold buckle reminds me of the Celine box bag, kind of like a square. There's no naming, there's no PP, she could have done that, right? PP for her logo, but there isn't any of that, just Phoebe Philo. And I have to say, it grew on me. Like this little, very, very simple bag. There is no zip. Literally, you open it, it looks very luxurious. So it is called the Small Kit Cabas. And this, I picked two. So I picked the one that has, what is this? Is it, what kind of fur is this? It's like suede,
It's
or yeah, it
calf
looks like
hair.
suede. Yeah. So
Not
it's
it's
actually
not
a
suede,
little
it's calf hair. So it's just
calf hair.
calf, like it's calf leather, but they didn't take off the hair.
So it's very soft. I can imagine it's gonna feel really, really. It's just gonna be really nice to the touch, right? And it has suede as well. The lining, nice little badge lock closure, which is her. I think believe come from her past designs as well. Um, yeah, it's the simplicity of it that over time I got attracted to it. So if you find like, okay, calf hair might be a little difficult to maintain, I think the next picture is the just the regular smooth leather, which looks so, just the pictures itself, it just looks so buttery. I can imagine it's gonna smell amazing. It's gonna feel like Hermes's Swift leather, very soft, very buttery, and it's fully lined with leather. So the interior has this suede, gold, like a golden, what is it, toffee suede lining, silver against black. So it's very in right now, right, to wear silver. Even I'm wearing like a silver ring, kind of like, oh, taking a break from all that gold. And it's nice. There is something very clean about wearing white or palladium color or silver color tone right now. So it grew on me. I actually really like this right now. And though you might think, okay, what's the point of all this string, so much string? It just adds a little element to the bag, because if you took the strings away, it's like it's missing something. So now having it, even though it's just for the zipper pull, it's different. It's just like, oh, interesting. So yeah, that I just had to pick this after a while. Okay, after a while, I thought, yeah, I like this bag. The price is, it was about 4,800 USD. The smooth leather one is a little less. I think it's 4,300. Yeah, so that's my pick. What do you think of this bag?
Yeah, well, um, I picked this one as well, and I encourage you guys, because we didn't put all the bags in the slides, although there were not too many anyway. There was like
Mhm.
4 or 5 different styles with different textures, different colors. And I picked mainly 2. And my main one was this one because, and again, I encourage you to just visit her site if you want to look at all the other ones. I like this one because it reminded me a lot of the trapeze. It's not the same, obviously. The trapeze is a more complicated closure and it's a lot more annoying. This one just takes away the complicated thing, but keeps its streamlined look. And plus, the strings are actually functional. I like that because it helps you find the zipper very easily on both ends, because there's 2 sides of the bag, right? 2 sides with the inner pocket.
Mm.
To me, between all the bags, and I will show 2 bags, this being one of them, um, I kind of made the contrast between the 2, why I picked this over the others. But I think the 2 other ones that I didn't pick were just very structured bags, and it didn't seem like it offered that flexibility because I mean, we all have a lot of different bags already in our collection. Some are structured, some are less structured. But if we're going to go for structured bags, we usually go for some brands such as Hermes and Chanel. And those already kind of take away, in my opinion, if you are more of a loyal to your brands, to your own fashion houses, you wouldn't necessarily just come out of the way and choose something from her brand, even though it's new. The other 2 bags that are more structured, I felt like, there was not enough special things for me to pick it.
Mm.
With this one, I like that. Well, aside from the size being good and the price being the better one, I actually like how simple it is, and also it seemed very functional. If I'm going for this size bag, which for me is a larger size bag, I want it to be functional, and that's how I felt with this one. I quite liked it, but obviously, her collection is not quite accessible, actually. It's only sold in the US online and in Europe online. You can't get it in Canada if even if I wanted to. So that is one of a bigger issue. But yeah, this is one of my favorite of her entire collection.
Yep.
if I had
Agree.
to buy something. Like if I actually bought something, although I liked her ready to wear from an analytical point of view, I think I would just go for a bag. And this would be the one I picked.
Yeah. Okay, so I saw these shoes, and I should have put the shoes that it reminds me of. You know those Japanese shoes, the ones that you could put your whole foot in, and just the toe could move. I don't know, like a little bit like a toe covering, right? There's something about it, that flat part of the front shoe, and that line that cuts across the middle. It just gave me that vibe, and for some reason I really like those shoes, those Japanese shoes. It's a little odd, but it just makes total sense. And the flat shape to me is like comfort, okay? Because you don't gone are the days that I make a beeline for pointed heels. I mean, I still look at them, but it's not my first pick because I don't want my foot to be squished in, right? All my toes like this. So when I see flat shoes like that, I'm immediately attracted to them, and there's that cuteness to it. So I don't know. There's something about it. It's not the most aesthetically pleasing, like those Japanese shoes. When you see them, you're like, it's kind of weird. But functionally and comfort wise, I think they're gonna look really, really comfortable. I like the fact that it's also a higher cut, right? So it covers more of the toes, at least maybe towards maybe an inch above the toe, the lines on your toes. And again, it's like half a half of a not even half of a boot. It's like a sock. Yeah, like a sock. So I like this. And if you go to the next slide, there are two more colors.
Mm.
The white is even more obvious with the line, but yeah, white's hard to take care of course, but white is always very attractive. I really like this chocolate color. It's different, right, from black. I don't think it'll be that hard to match if you wear it with beige or white or black. You could even wear it green. So I'm attracted to this, and the price point is, it's expensive, but luxury shoes are not cheap. So this is 1,000. Is it 1,008 or 1,004?
1,200.
Oh, 1,200. Okay, yeah. So plus tax and everything, about 1,004, right?
Yeah. Yeah, these shoes, I didn't pick these shoes, but I will say they are very high fashion. So I feel like these shoes will only work if you already like to dress like a particular way, not the classic way. Like if you dress quite classic and you wear these shoes, it might look kind of off,
Agree.
a bit off balance. Um, but I agree the design is quite quirky, and I think it will appeal to that audience that are looking for that, like, so unique of a design. I don't think she is the only one who's done something like this, but obviously coming from her first launch, again, this is her first launch, right? Which came out in October 30th of last year. Everything sold out. So it definitely appealed to a certain audience. And to those people, it was everything to them. So I could see the
Mm,
appeal. Just personally, I don't think it's as suitable for the mass population, which I don't think was her goal anyway, but it was definitely interesting. Very high fashion.
yeah. All right. I think this is the only other thing that I picked. These pants. Maybe it's the way the picture is taken, but oh my goodness, the cut. The cut is gonna make your legs look so long. Obviously, you would have. I mean, this is not
You
for
have to wear
everyone's.
heels for those.
Yeah, you have
Yeah,
to wear
they look so
heels. You have
long.
to wear those flat shoes. I'm not sure if she is wearing those flat shoes or some other pair of shoes, but if you had a slimmer body shape and you're kind of tall, not tall, right, but like kind of tall, this is gonna make you look really tall. Like if you wear heels, it's gonna make you look really slim. I like the way the cut is. would it fit everyone? I honestly don't know. Looking at this model, if you have a bit of hips, I think it may look different. But just these pictures, I love the color as well. It says it's in cigar wool. So I'm not sure what kind of wool that is. I'm not sure if that's a color cigar or is it a type of wool. But I just love this picture. So if I wore it, I don't think I'll ever look like this. But if I wore heels, if I dressed it up with a simple shirt, just like this, even white shirt, black shirt, this is so work appropriate and it's just so, yeah, high fashion, I guess, like you said, right? High fashion, very very flattering, right?
Yeah, and it's flattering in a very minimal way,
Mm-hmm.
which I think looks like she didn't put in the effort, but in actuality, to pull off this look, you do have to put in some effort. Not to the extent of like accessories, but you do have to wear that heel because you need that length. Since these pants are so long, I think the moment you hem them, it's gonna take away from that look, that length look. And so, yes, you have to wear those heels. You have to make sure that you tuck in your shirt. Otherwise, it's going to take away from the style that it is, which is that lengthy, oversized, somewhat flowy pants. So, yeah, it's nice. For this pants, it's actually not so bad. The price is quite normal. For a high-end brand, it's quite normal, the price.
Yeah.
All right. All right, thank you, Kat. Okay, so I am going to present my pick. So, like I said, this was my number one pick of her entire collection. If I were to buy anything, it would be this bag. I would actually be interested to check it out in person just because, I mean, it's not like I really need it, but I think just to give this brand a chance and for me to actually see it in person, I really do want to touch it and feel it. So hopefully one day it'll become available everywhere. And just judging from this picture, the model, it is a very simple look, which sometimes I do want because yes, I like my logos. Yes, I like my colors, but there are days that I just want to be wearing black and no logos, and this is exactly what I would need. Um, we already mentioned about the zippers and the interior, the leather, just, judging from how Celine was, which I know it's not her brand, but she was the creative director at the time. So she had a lot of this, I guess, decision making on the material and everything in it, I'm sure. Judging from the Celine trapeze that I own, and how it is, and I still own the bag, I have faith that this is going to feel like that luxury, that leather, that rich texture, even if it's smooth leather, but there's a bit of contrast with the interior and just the simple hardware. I have faith that it's a really nice one. So I would go for this rather than the cow hair, only because the other one is a little bit more seasonal. It's more wintry. This one is all year round. So I would definitely pick this one over the other. My
I
personal.
was just scrolling on my phone because the only person that I have seen with this bag, the version that I was the first version that I picked with the hair, right, calf hair, is Michelle Wong. She actually bought it. She got
Mhm.
the one with the exact one, I think, and I can't remember what she said in her video. I think it was part of her best and worst.
Mm.
But seeing somebody unbox it and kind of like showcase it, because photos and what people see on, different, it's different, right? These are professionally taken photos. When we do it on YouTube, you see something different. So it looks, I think it looks as good as. So it's not like you see in photos and you're like, when you receive in the reality, it's like, oh, it's so different. The video that I watched, it actually looks really good. The calf hair was very shiny. The shape wise is as big as I imagine it. So it's not overwhelmingly large. Kind of, yeah, very attractive. So I agree. It's if I had to pick one, like you said, this would be this design could be any of the other colors that she has, or maybe in the calf hair as well.
Yeah, I saw her, like after I looked at the collection and made the slides, I looked at her unboxing. I also saw another one. There was a story on Instagram,
Mhm.
someone else who bought the calf hair as well, and she did a like a 1 minute short. And in that short, she kind of reviewed it. And I think the only complaint, which was very minor, was that because she had the calf hair version, was that she wished it had more structure. I semi
Mm.
agree, maybe not even because I feel like I prefer this bag because of the medium structure. I don't want it to be too structured, like hard as a cardboard, but I don't want it to be so slouchy that it will lose everything. I feel like this was just the right amount of rigidity. But that was just one thing that she said because I think she was concerned that if over time she used it more, that it would soften up, that it wouldn't stay. You know how the calf hair is struck, it has a nice texture and it's like shiny, right? So when it's straight, it looks really nice. If it was all wiggly, then it would look kind of weird. So that was her concern. Um, you wouldn't have that much of a problem with the smooth leather, however, which is why I still prefer this one. This
Hmm.
one Tamara has as well. So
Oh, let me
yeah, I
check out.
saw
Let me.
her video on this bag, her unboxing as well. So I was like, yeah, definitely this is the more popular one, as even the internet, social media people have bought. So this one I had to show it, not because I want to buy it, but I just wanted to
Oh,
show the contrast of how like this one was well priced. It was reasonably big price. I wouldn't say that it's super well priced, but it was an okay price for her launch, and it was a good bag. It looks like a very decent size, very normal size for anybody. Contrast to this, which looks more like a huge travel tote, and it's just like a big open space. There's no closure or anything. There's not even those tassels to kind of differentiate the design. It's really just a lot of nice leather, I'm sure, but a big, gigantic tote. But her price for this was, at least in the US, because I know in the EU, it's cheaper when you do the conversion, but in the US, which that would be my, I guess, my access to it if I ever were to get it, it's 8,500 plus tax would be like 10K. It's crazy. I think this is probably like if you look at the contrast, um, why like I'm trying to understand the direction. Is this more geared towards men? Is it more geared towards just the 1% on top that really appreciates her as a designer, that would just support her and buy it? Because they're all sold out too. Don't forget that her entire collection was sold out on her initial launch. This is her second launch already, like to not second
mm.
launch, but this is her replenished sort of stock already at this point of her first launch. So prior to that, you wouldn't even be able to see the prices because the moment it's sold out, you can't see the prices and everything is red.
Yep.
But yeah, I definitely don't think that this bag is reasonable whatsoever, and I don't understand the simple like nothing design. Well, maybe I do, but only if the price was a lot lower. I think that would have been more acceptable.
My theory about this bag is like a mix of a few things. One, yes, it's nothing in luxury is supposed to be cheap anyway, but this is extra expensive. Firstly, because there is a bit of sentimentalness to the brand, so the higher price. And Phoebe Philo is well known for her Phantom. You remember the Phantom
Mhm.
luggage? There was one really big one, like it looked like like a manta ray, um, and it's just that she was the one of the few that time that sort of in those days you call it viral, right? Because really big black Phantom bag. I feel like this is her modernized version of it. Like it when I looked at this, I was like, oh, the first thing that I thought of was, oh, kind of Phantom, like kind of that Celine Phantom luggage bag, but without all the heaviness to it. I'm pretty sure it's not going to be as heavy, because that was like that was a luggage, full luggage on its own, just the bag. This one, it will have weight because it's so big, but that's my first impression. When I saw this, I felt like there was a bit of that connection to that look. And if you are some, like you said, Phoebe Philo's fan, you buy it. You buy this. You buy this for that whole nostalgia, kind of look the same, and the fact that big bags are back as well, or really it's not gone away, but it's sort of like this is the bag now. It goes with the whole travel vibe right now. It just looks so functional without all the bells and whistles and too much unnecessary leather.
I disagree that it's functional, though. I think it's only functional if you are someone who needs this kind of size bag for your day to day, like whether your work needs it to be like that, or you just travel a lot for work or whatever. Like, I think generally speaking, anybody with this kind of size bag will end up not using it, because it is technically, like, this size is a travel size. Like, I don't even know if you're allowed to bring this on the plane as your personal item. Like, it's this big, right?
Is that big? Let's see.
Well,
Isn't
it
it kind of gives
says,
me a bit of like Deauville, that Deauville size. Is it as big as
oh,
Deauville?
sorry, this is not the right one. Let's see, what's the size? Can you check your phone? I didn't put the size in here, but like this size, this size is like, this model, I'm sure is like 6 feet tall, and it's a huge bag.
Phoebe Philo.
And regardless, the Deauville, we've already established that it's too big of a size for
Freaking
most
big, yeah.
people. So this, even if this is the same size as the Deauville, it's still too big. And I just don't really I think this is probably, in my opinion, this is probably the reason why there is such a controversy in the people's polling of whether they are gonna buy the Phoebe Philo collection. I think a lot of people were excited about it. Even normal general population were very excited, but the moment they saw the collection, then they're like, what is this?
It's
That's where all the
57
confusion came
centimeters. 57. Like
But
this
yeah,
big.
there was only 2 more bags that we didn't show here. Those 2 are a little bit more structured. There's one that's like almost like a trio design with a rounded, it's a shoulder bag. It's cute, but not what I would choose as part of her launch collection. They were not unique enough. But moving on, I chose her accessories. She had 2 pairs of sunglasses. They were the same, but just different colors. The other one was sold out, so I couldn't really show the color. This one was still not sold out, so we can see the color, the picture properly, and also the prices. I think they're quite interesting. Again, it's very avant-garde. It's very modern. It's almost too modern, like almost alien-like, which I think appeals to, if you want that certain very unique piece and it's not going to break the bank because it's just a pair of sunglasses, then I think this is okay to buy. Would I personally buy it? No, but I think it's cool. It's something different that you can't necessarily find unless it was like a special limited edition from a different brand.
I can imagine, who will wear these. People who are like stars, right? Celebrities. When they go out, like there's something about the second picture on this slide. She gives me Celine Dion vibes. Because I think I've seen Celine Dion wear big glasses like that. They're kind of like celebrity. You're gonna be, photographed by all these what do you call them?
Paparazzi?
Paparazzis, and you want a big pair of glasses, like Kim Kardashian, big glasses that protect most of your face. Yeah, kind of gives you that vibe.
I was thinking also, I was like, oh, if I ever had to get eye surgery, right, like LASIK or whatever, and I need to protect my eyes, this was what I would buy, just to be able to protect all sides, all the angles from the light coming in. But yeah,
True.
that's what it reminded me of. But it is very high fashion again. Um, okay, so remember when I said that, oh, once it's sold out, you can't even see the actual product properly because it's red. So this is a case of their jewelry. So this is one of their piece of jewelry. There was a silver one, and this is the gold plated one. So it's gold plated on sterling silver, and it has this logo, which is mom all over. So almost like it's not choker length, but it's very short. It's probably like 15, 16 centimeters. I mean, inch. And you know what? At first, I didn't know how to feel about it. I almost felt like it's childish. But then if you don't look at what it says, which is the logo or the word mom, which I don't really know why she used that, but if you don't look at that, but you just look at like from a very far apart, it kind of looks quite cool. So I can see why it's popular because it's sold out, right? It's sold out. And I can see it's very logo forward, but at the same time, it's very simple. It's kind of like if you don't know that those were words, it looks interesting. So
Yeah.
I
I saw this as
really wonder
well.
how much it is.
Yeah, you don't have the price, right? You can't see it
No,
anymore
probably too much.
once it's sold out. I agree. I don't know what to think about this. It's very chunky, but you're right. But the thing is, once you see the word mom, you can't unsee it.
Yeah.
So I can't I'm trying to appreciate just the, almost erratic pattern of up and down, almost like a heart rate monitor. But I can't because I see mom. So you're right. If a person was just walking past and they had this necklace on, it looks very, very undone. Like it's very rough yet not rough, kind of unique, just different. But once you see the word mom, that's all I see. And maybe there's some attractiveness to that as well.
Yeah, it could be if it was a piece that, to you is sentimental because it reminds you of your mom or a mom figure.
True.
It could be that. And I wonder where her inspiration came from, but it's definitely super different. Like this is the most logo she's put on anything, which is not even a logo of her brand. It's just like a word, right?
Mm.
Contrasting to this necklace, which again also sold out, no pricing, also in sterling silver. This one is quite nice. I think, okay, that's the, I guess her line of accessories, you could see that they're very out there. They're very extravagant, like those big glasses, right? And the chunky necklace. And this one being super different from anything. Like, I've never seen a necklace like this. It's basically a tassel necklace. And it only works with this kind of clothes, like her kind of clothes where it's very relaxed, very oversized, very minimal, and only accessory you put is something like this on. So again, it's not going to work for everybody, but it is sold out.
Mm. Yeah, I don't know. It's the accessories that she wants to amp up, like this, the one before, the glasses, even the shoes are kind of different, right? They're like out there. Um, yeah, not sure about this one.
It's nice. It's something that
It's
I
nice.
definitely, if I were to if I were to just play with my wardrobe, right? Like I do have some oversized jackets that I could totally style this way, but I don't know if I would necessarily buy this from Phoebe Philo. I would find something like this maybe from
Mm,
H&M because it's so trendy.
mm,
It's so trendy, and I'm sure it is pretty expensive. I know it's only sterling silver, but like it's the branding, right? At the end of the day, it's her brand. Um, so yeah, I don't know how to feel about this. I mean, I like it, but I also don't like it at the same time. It's very different.
and it's quite. I was gonna pick this to talk about, but since
Mhm.
I saw you did it. This one, I feel it's uh, the thing about accessories is when you wear something that's so bling,
Statement.
so statement, yeah, so statement, so bling, so out there, you can't really use it a lot.
Mm-hmm.
And some and okay, if the price is like H&M, sure, it's buy and try, buy, use, throw almost, right? Or recycle. But this, it's I'm sure it's in the thousands.
Most
Silver is really
likely, yeah.
expensive. Yeah, it's gone up a lot. It's not like the good old days where you can buy silver for really cheap. It's much more expensive. Still cheaper than gold, but still it's gonna cost you a pretty penny. How many times can you wear that before people are like, oh, the tassel necklace again? And these are probably people are high fashion, right? They want that change of look all the time. At best, I give you 3 outfits before you're like, okay, I'm done.
I think this is why I found her whole collection very editorial. It's almost feel like
Mm.
it's made for that one look. And so for anybody who's actually really, really interested in her collection, they are going for that, special look that they are going to wear to that special one-time event, right? So it feels very fleeting to me, like a lot of the pieces that we're looking at right now, they don't they won't appeal to the masses. So I had to pick this one because at first I was thinking, oh, how ridiculous it is to sit on a lot of bubbles. But then I looked at the entire collection and then I saw the styling. So then I understood why this piece was created. But it was definitely very funky. Like when I saw this, I'm like, wow, if you look at the description, right? It's actually made of polyamide. So it's basically a plastic material too. How comfortable can it be? Again, very high fashion. Like you literally have to be a model, stick figure to wear this, I'm sure, because you want to showcase this, right? If you cover it up, what's the point? So, I think I saw them style this with like a big blazer jacket, but it still shows the bottom. So like I understand that. I get it. But otherwise, yeah, I don't think anybody would buy this for $1,200.
Celebrities would buy this because it's catering to the look, right? So okay, celebrities won't buy it. It will be the celebrities. What do you call them? They are, one that follows them around to dress them up. They are,
Personal stylers.
yeah, their personal stylists will buy it because everything they wear the moment they step out of the house, it's photographs, right? It's make sure your stylist is giving you the best look, the red carpet look, the
Mm.
bikini look, the one that you're going on holiday. So the stylist does everything. And I can imagine some stylists like the Kardashians, like this would be Kourtney Kardashian's look. You film her when she's on the yacht to some Saint Bart or something. You see this, she'll wear this because it's more for the picture than comfort.
Anyway, I just thought I had to show this. It's very funky. But I think this is where it will make you understand what I mean by like her collection feels very editorial, even with these shoes. I had to pick these shoes because to me, of all the shoes, I wouldn't really wear. And if I were to buy one pair, I would buy this one. Not that I would really wear it because it's still high heels, but this is the most interesting of all the designs. Because aside from that big red panel at the back, they have it in different colors too. Aside from that panel in the back, it looks like a regular pair of sandals, square toe, kind of cool, yeah. Um, I'm sure it's very nice, made in Italy, but it's that extra panel that makes it super editorial, super high fashion, and something I truly haven't seen anywhere. So I actually really like this. If I could wear high heels a lot, I would wear it. It's so cool. And the price is just, regular luxury shoe price, which it's okay. This is not too crazy for me. But design wise, I like I like it, even though it's so simple, really.
Not sure about this. I'm just wondering whether this panel will flap as you walk.
Yeah, it probably would. But
It
I think that's
probably.
what's cool.
Right. Yeah.
And you have to imagine not just wearing these shoes, right? Okay, maybe you could wear these shoes with this too. That would be cool. But you could wear these shoes with those long pants, although that would take away from the shoes too. You know, it would kind of hide it. So I think you have to plan your outfit. Sometimes the quirkier the design, or the more intricate the designs, it is actually harder to style, right? Because sometimes the simpler the things are, the more easy it is to put together. But I do like this one. I really, really like this one.
Sorry. Can you just go back to that photo? Just that one. I I have to pull this. Wow, you people are the funniest. It looks like you can write a spell at the back of their shoes.
Yeah, like 新年快樂，恭喜發財, right?
新年快樂. Or like those the Chinese zombie. If it's yellow, you can write the red words. Oh my goodness, Nat.
Well, then I wonder where this inspiration came from, like, is it a bunch of acnes, or, like, it could be anything. But honestly, I think if we're less narrow-minded, because yes, you have to be more open-minded when it comes to art, and when it comes to like just beyond, like, these are definitely things that not just the everyday average person will buy. These are things that very fashion forward people would only buy, right? We can only appreciate it because obviously it doesn't really suit our styles. But I really do like this one. Okay, I picked this cardigan. I didn't pick too many ready to wear, although I already picked more than Kat, because this one looks cool. I like how the buttons are this like big chunky turn lock. There's a bit of leather trimmings all around. And also because it's quite big of a sweater knit, it's a cashmere knit, it can also be worn as a jacket. So I think that's why the price kind of reflects that more expensive side of it. It's 4,800. And oh, she's actually holding on to that bag that I said looks like a trio, but it's a shoulder bag. She's actually holding on to it. So it really like gives you that whole vibe in this one jacket. It's very just oversized. In a way, there's details, but it's also very minimal. I like it.
I almost picked this, actually. I almost picked this. When I was looking at it, I was like, oh, I like this cardigan. But the two things stopped me, because I was sort of going for what I would buy if I really wanted to buy, rather than looking at it from an artistic look. But this one, I would not pay 4,800 for it. So I was like, no, not worth it. And I'm not sure about the buttons. I like the fact they're very big, very gold against black against gold. And it's not a shiny gold. I think it's like the vintage gold. Very nice. But they're like turn locks. So I was like, nah, I don't think I would wear that. Take that away. I like this, like you said, no, it's probably really soft cashmere. There's that leather. I think it's leather trimming that goes down. And it looks so cozy. But I think the play on the accessory, which is the buttons, kind of threw me off a little bit. They kind of really look like turn locks, like the Chanel 2.55 kind of turn locks. I'm not sure about that for this.
Well, I understand why you wouldn't buy it for the price, but I definitely think that, even though the designs are quite chunky, because the turn locks are quite chunky on this one, right? Like, you have to have certain stature. For me, as a 5'4" person, I think this would be way too big for me already to begin with. But I do want to come from I think even the general population would appreciate this piece. Obviously not for the price, but like from a standpoint of her design, I think this one is quite interesting. And because it can be worn as a jacket, I don't think it would really work though if you live in Singapore or even if you're in LA. I don't know if you need this, to be honest. But anywhere else that is a little colder, I think you could benefit from this. It's, it's to each their own, right?
Oh yeah.
I think you either love it or you don't love it. Because again, this is a very editorial cardigan. It's still very high fashion. Even though the details are subtle, but they're still subtle but chunky also. Although she is wearing an extra large here. She's only 5'7" here. 5'7" wearing an extra large. So you could buy a smaller size. But then you won't get this look.
You won't get the effect though. You want that oversized, very cozy, like you're wrapping yourself in a very nice soft cashmere jacket. You gotta go big.
She can pull off a 5'7" in extra large. Okay, so I picked 2 pair of pants, and the 2 pair of pants that I picked are extremely high fashion. Obviously, I would not really buy this, but if I had to pick something because of how interesting it looks, and we're past the point where like we know we're not gonna buy it, I really like this one because obviously you could wear like a normal pair of pants, you zip it all the way down, but you'll still have 2 lines in the back, I guess. But if I were to wear this, I would wear exactly how this model is wearing, slightly high with unzipped, because that's what the appeal is. In fact, those sandals will be showcased in here because you will see the panel from the sandals here.
Yeah.
There's 2 colors. So there's the black, and there's also this kind of olive khaki color. And here's where you see them wearing the studded, well, in this case, I think it's the whole
swimsuit.
It's either swimsuit or bodysuit. And that's where it's showcased with this pants. So like you see where her whole collection is coming from, right? Like mesh everything together, then yes, it becomes very kind of like super high fashion, super editorial.
Yeah. I think the cut of these pants are just gorgeous. Like the front, obviously the back is optional. Like if you don't want to zip it down, no problem. But if you have a nice or very flamboyant party that you're going for, you can come walking in looking super simple at the front, then like, whoa, nice pants.
Yeah, I like even how she just unzipped a little bit here just to show the heel. That's enough. That's enough to show how these pants are very, very interesting.
You get quite a few looks: straight cut, bell bottoms, which is what she's showing here on the left side. Interesting. How much are these? 2,400?
Yeah, these were a bit more.
A little bit more. I think it's the hardware.
400.
The hardware, the way they have to actually, put the zip right where, because you could put it wrongly, and then when you unzip it may not give you the effect, right?
Well, I don't think they would put it the wrong way, but
so they gotta put it right at the seam, right?
It's more things to work. Like you have to cut the fabric 4 more times, right? And each zip you have to sew twice, whereas normally you don't have to sew there at all. And the cutting has to be quite exquisite to be able to do this. Okay, I think I have a few more. So of all the jackets, I picked this one. Only because I like the tailoring. Again, I think you have to have a certain stature. Like you have to be quite tall. This lady is 5'11", super tall, and she's wearing a size 38, which is even on her looks quite oversized. But I like this jacket. I think if I was someone who was looking for that clean cut, structured looking jacket, but still with some like good silhouette, some good tailoring, And also this one had a special extra scarf thing that goes with it.
Yeah. Interesting. Like again, artistic, very it's got a bit of that sharp shoulders. Yeah. Yep. I did not pick this, definitely. Because I was not sure about that extra cape. I'm not sure what to do with it.
Oh, you don't have to wear it. You could.
Is it comes with it or is it
I'm pretty sure
together?
it comes with it because there's another jacket that it also comes with it. Let me see. Double-breasted, tailored, sharp press, satin black, Barathia wool, strong structure, drop shoulder waist. I thought it came with it because I'll show you. This coat or trench coat has, okay, maybe the other one doesn't necessarily come with it. This one says with attachable scarf, and
Right.
which is super interesting to me. I feel like, you don't have to wear the scarf, obviously, but you could. Then it adds that extra element of like, whoa, really cool, sort of like, that extra fabric, which is so smooth and kind of shiny, which matches the coat. So it's exaggerated, it has a lot of volume, padded shoulders, leather piping. In here, this model is 5'11". So, like I said, a lot of her clothes, I feel like you have to have a certain stature. Like you have to be on the taller side, right? On the taller, leaner side to be able to pull off these kinds of volumes and length. But, looking at it alone, like just this picture on the right side, I really, really appreciate the tailoring.
This is a very nice coat, actually. When I saw it, I was like, nice. And I think I like the fact that the scarf it can be attached because it's just, to me, so much more convenient. You'll never lose your scarf. I like that for attachments. At least it's functional, right? Not attaching things that are not. So I like this trench coat. Would not be wearing it because it's not applicable here.
Yeah, I realize a lot of things you wouldn't choose because it's just too much fabric. I understand that. But to me, it's like, obviously her garments are quite large. This is just a size 36 and she's 5'11". So I think even the smallest size wouldn't probably fit me very well. But I do appreciate the designs.
This is very
And
nice, actually.
yeah, and like this would be perfect for the weathers that we have. Even the design, like look at the back of her head. Look at the collar, how it's like cut out there. I
It's like
really
a
like little
flower,
details like
right?
that.
Like this.
It's just all in the details. Yeah, really, really cool. I like how streamlined it is, but too expensive. This coat is
Yeah.
6,200. And I think I have one more, which I added last minute because I just had to add it because the contrast between this jacket, this trench coat, which is already 6,200, which is already too much. But then this one is, well, okay, I know it's leather, but there's no price because it's too expensive to even put it on the site. We can all just imagine how much it could be. And I wonder how much. If you know, put it in the comment. But it's so cool, right? Same similar vibe with that extra scarf thing. It's made of all Napa leather. It looks very soft, very shiny, very Matrix vibe. But again, you have to have a certain stature. Like you have to be at least 5'7", 5'8" to pull off any of these looks. So not good for us shorty here,
Yeah,
unfortunately.
no. And you know what? Those are the other sunglasses, those black ones.
Yeah,
And
very cool.
I took a giggle because when my mom went for her cataract operation, the hospital gave her a pair of sunglasses that were like that large, and I laughed at it. I was like,
Mhm.
"Oh, whoa, mommy, you look so cool!" Because they were like this big, and mom was like, "Yeah, because you can't get the sun and everything." But they were large. They protected everything. Like you protect your eye, even from the side, the nose, because light can come in from here, from the top as well, and then definitely from the side. So, uh, very functional.
So I took the liberty of, doing some research, and I found this purse forum page that, they posted it on the day of her launch, and there was a poll there. So there was only 78 voters, but it just goes to show you that, the general population said they were going to pass. Either they loved it, but they wouldn't buy it because of the price, which is like 47% of the voters, or they're totally passing, which is 53%. So it goes to show you basically the majority, most people are not buying. And the only people that really are interested are probably the very fashion forward people. So interesting, right? Again, don't forget to start your questions or your remarks, concerns, whatever, with question marks in front. And just because this is the first time we're having the Luxury Live Show again, this first time of the year, just wanted to remind you guys, if you want to join our membership, because we do have extra members only live streams, you can just go to our channel page, and there's 2 different kinds of membership. All the details are on my description box. All right. Let's see. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and let us know. Overpriced. Yeah, it is. I think that's the general, it is the general consent, as you saw
Clara's
also in the
also saying
poll, even though that poll was only like, there was only 78 people, but still.
Nat here, I'll pull this one from Nat saying that the style of this collection looks like something Kendall Jenner would wear since she's tall and has legs for days. Yeah. So if you're slim, tall, and fashion forward, this is attractive because you can sort of visualize looking at the models because you're kind of the same shape. You're like, wow, this is how I would look like. For us, it's a bit hard because you're like, I'm not that tall. I'm not 5'11".
Mhm.
And then you got reality versus expectation kind of feeling.
So I think there's a few comments about the shoes. They look like the Bottega
Yes.
shoes or the Massimo Dutti. You know what? I saw, and I think this was, I think I saw it on, probably on one of the comments from the Purse forum, on the same page that I found the votes. Some people were also kind of comparing the general vibe, because it's very boxy. It has that very oversized, almost street kind of wear, to Balenciaga. A lot of people compared to Balenciaga as well. Vicky says, I love the old Phoebe Philo Celine.
No
The
bueno.
shoes, no bueno. You know what? The thing is, like, I think maybe she's like, she couldn't be like putting out stuff that is Celine, like almost exactly as Celine, right? Because at the end of the day, it's still her brand. So I think I see where she's coming from. I think Clara also said too expensive, even more than Celine. Yeah, it is. The effort I need to pull off this look is not to eat for a month.
Even that, Joe, you need to grow some inches as well.
Yeah. Although Joe is pretty tall already, no? You're
Not
5'6",
5'11" though. You're
right?
5'6", 5'7", 5'6". You need a few more inches. You're about there. It's just definitely model look. Oh my god, Joe, you're so funny. This. Let me put another one. The way Phoebe has designed this collection is liberating. Like she finally does not need to care about shareholders. Well, it's true because she was designing for Celine for the longest time, and she had to design things that could sell, right? And being a very artistic, creative designer, it's quite frustrating, right? Because You may want to do something that's not agreeable at that level. Now she's doing it on her own name.
Joe has a question. Thoughts on the YSL Sanka set? I had lunch with a friend who carried the small, not the mini, and it's so good. I'm tempted to get one. Didn't we talk about this bag already, Joe? Let me just look it up so that we can show everyone what it is. I think that's the appeal of Saint Laurent bags, is that they have the appeal of being not the crazy price range that these luxury houses are. I mean, it's still luxury, but it's slightly more affordable. And if you're just going for this just for some fun, not to look for resale value, it's actually okay to buy. So you said the small, right? Okay, the small. Yeah, it's cute. I could only find the small size in suede here, though. Let me just show it. Small. Like, it's not a terrible price. This is at the Matches Fashion site. 2,750.
Oh, this one, yes.
It is in USD though, but like, it's not a terrible price, right, for luxury. It's kind of just open as well. There's only one little kind of
Yep.
flap looking closure, so it's quite easy to access. And there's a bit of that slouch, which is it's always nice to have a bit of slouch because it's easier to fit things in, and it's a little bit more kind of molding to your body. But is it so interesting, right? Like, no, but I think it boils down to what you want at the end of the day too.
Yeah.
And you don't have to
Oh,
get
Joe,
the
this is.
suede.
I really like this bag. So I tried it with Clara. I think Clara was also saying that we tried it in store, and it's very, very. I mean, it's the simplicity of it that makes it look so nice. The only thing is this picture. So I'm not sure if you can expand it, Amy. Can you expand the lock where the L is?
Here?
Yeah, right there. Okay, great. So that's how it's closed.
Yeah, you have to
You
loop it in.
you loop it in this tiny little opening that, you know, if
It's
I had this
annoying.
bag, I wouldn't even bother closing it. I'll just put it over or just tuck the whole YSL inside, because that could be really annoying to just find that hook. But besides that, let me see. When I was trying it, yeah, that was my main thing. I was like, oh, that's kind of odd, kind of like not the most practical. If you're trying to move fast. I would, if it was like a magnetic closure, it'd be so much better. But the straps, I think the strap was quite comfortable on the shoulder. But yeah, but the look, I love it. I saw this, I was like, oh my gosh, I need to check it out. So the bag, everything else, very nice.
Yeah, it's very simple. I think I like it. Obviously, no one's going to take me away from my Chanel 22 small size. That's just not even compare. Like, to me, like, this is apples and oranges. It's very hard to compare. But if I'm just looking at them individually and I'm judging this for this, I think it's nice. It has its simplicity and it reflects on the the brand, the price and everything. And like, at the end of the day, it's what suits you. I think the reason why you're interested and that you're tempted is because it is still really, like, it's really cute. And I think we just concentrate too much on Chanel and Hermes sometimes, that we overlook all the other brands. Sometimes we do have to maybe just allow ourselves to buy other brands too, and to consider other brands.
I see this comment here. Miss Charm, What's up with the opening picture of the website? Oh, the focus in my face is a woman's crotch. Really? Hang on, let me see.
What do you mean the opening? Is it did you join when it was like the
No, no, no.
bikini?
I think she's talking about the Phoebe Philo's website.
Oh yeah? Oh.
I remember.
But
Yeah, I
again,
was.
it's very magazine editorial. I think that's the
Yeah,
whole feel. Even the website is like that. So, I mean, I kind of didn't really pay attention in a way.
I remember seeing it. I was like, oh, okay, but I didn't. Yeah, like pay much attention to it. But yeah, it's definitely one of those that you go like, woo. Very. Let's see.
I was looking so there was one thing that
Oh, yeah, it
I
is.
was checking the price difference because I was, there was the price in the States and then there was the price in Europe. And definitely for the same exact bag that I was interested in, um, the price was a lot better in the Europe. So I will say if I were to consider anything from her, I would probably try to get it in Europe, which I don't even know how because you have to be right now you can only buy it online. You have to be on their mailing list or at least have an account and then, buy it that way. So if I don't live there or if I don't travel there long enough. Am I having a lag, by the way, guys? Do you guys find that I'm lagging?
A little bit just now, but not now. Now, okay.
I think it's because, yeah, I'm trying a different camera and I'm still using my old microphone. So we'll just go with it for now today because I'm still testing it out.
Mm. I got a new monitor, so I don't have to look here.
Ah,
my
nice.
table, got my table's on this side with my laptop, so now I've connected it to a screen in front of me, and it's better. But I wish it was a little higher, so I need to bring up this table that I bought as well for this new setup. So I'm kind of figuring out because actually, let me ask the audience since we are talking about setup. Do you hear echo if I do this? Like because because the monitor is right next to the mic. Does it sound okay?
What you just said now sounds okay. Oh, but now I hear my feedback,
You hear the feedback, right?
like when I talk.
Yeah. So if you can hear it, means the audience can hear it. So I'm gonna plug it back on and figure out where to put the mic. That's okay. That's fine. Okay. Let's see.
In a way, I was happy that I didn't pay attention to this whole buzz around the Phoebe Philo launch because, like I said, I didn't know anything about it before coming in, which I wanted to stay neutral. But at the same time, now that I've seen it, I don't feel like I missed out on anything. And also, it really does not, I think, like, if I were to even consider ready to wear, it's very hard. It's very hard to pull off her designs just because of the silhouettes that she is going for. And then in terms of like the bags, I know it's just her first launch, but there's really only 4 bags. So are they unique enough? I don't think so. But I'm excited to see what she's going to do of more and which direction is she going to keep going the same way or is she going to like change it up a little bit? Kind of interested to see how it's going to go.
I think this first launch, I didn't read about what her inspiration was for the launch. Just I wanted to see it as it is. So my impression of it is that she has to keep to the. She could be exactly like that, right? Meaning that she's always been aesthetically minimalist, and she's well known for that. that is her design, her style, and everybody said, "Oh, bring back the old Celine, the old Phoebe Philo Celine." But she's been not the Celine director, fashion director for so long, and is that really her style, or is it a mix of because it's Celine's look for so long that she has to follow it? Because there's a bit of play in her elements now, right? There's that cleanness to it, but still there's that different, really editorial, really not something that you will wear every day to it. So it's interesting to see how it's gonna evolve. I feel like for the first launch, there's a lot of pressure, right? You're coming out with your own brand name. People expect minimalistic looks. They expect that clean lines, that clean cut. It's very hard for her to suddenly venture out and not do it. So I feel like she's testing the waters because her accessories are so different, right? So she has to follow that template of simplicity look because that's what people are expecting. She has to sell, right? Otherwise, she will not be able to make another launch. It could be a one-hit wonder and then that's it. But that play around with this to see how the take-up is. So I think the next iteration will be different again. I just feel that is how it's going to be because yeah, I don't know. I just feel like it will change a bit in the next iteration.
I do really like her aesthetic, though. As far as what she's done at Celine and what she's done here, I just I just don't think that her audience is really to the masses right now, and I don't know if that's ever her goal to perhaps switch to that eventually. Because I think what made Celine very successful, at least for the latter part of her creative direction there, and then even up to this point, is that it somewhat is very, very appealing to the general masses. Like anybody that buys their clothes and bags can easily pull it off, right? But is this where she wants to go? I don't know.
So let's ask everyone. Let's say, okay, be neutral, be neutral, be put away the price aside and all that. But if you had to pick one thing beyond, even from our slides or beyond our slides, if you looked at the website, what would be the top thing that you would buy? Like you would say, okay, fine, I want to collect or use one of the pieces from Phoebe Philo's very first launch. What would it be? I think for me, it's obvious. I think I'll go with the bag. Any one of the iterations, whether it's the calf hair or the plain one, which is just the smooth leather. I think for you would be the same, right, Amy?
I would pick the bag for sure. That's one of them. I would like one of her trench coats. If
The trench
it
coat would
fits
be
me.
a good one.
If it fits me, I would like one of her trench coats. The pants, I really like them. I just don't think I will fit. I just don't have enough legs, and I obviously don't wear heels, so it wouldn't work. Mm, maybe I will explore her accessories when she has a bigger range of accessories. Right now, it's kind of limited, and those that are interesting, it's completely sold out. So I can't even judge whether I would buy it because maybe the price is too high, so I won't buy it. So yeah, the trench coat and the bag, very nice.
Yeah,
Those would be
I
my
go with
pick.
the bag, right? And there are a few colors for now, but black is always best, right? If you're going for something that's already so simple, I think that's the aesthetic that we should be going for if you're going for that bag. So I'll go with the bag. I actually like, the more I look at the first time I saw the sunglasses, I wasn't attracted to it. But if I had to just pick one accessory, I'd go with the sunglasses rather than the shoes, because you can go really wild with sunglasses. Like, you can take it off, you're out in the sun, they're functional. So I think sunglasses would be, it's normal people acceptable kind of statement, right? With all the different designs from all other brands, this one actually is protective because it's all covered like snow goggles. So I think I'd go with that. The pants, though, I think it's going to be superb in the cut and color and look, it's not going to add much to my wardrobe. I would rather go with other brands, cheaper brands. But yeah, I think the sunglasses would be fun. The bag would be fun. Let me see. Did she put any earrings? I can't remember if she did. Let's take a look.
I
Oh, yeah,
think
she
there
did.
were some.
Yeah. I think those were the two that I would go for. Yeah.
Her accessories, I think they were not wow enough. Aside from the two necklaces and the sunglasses that I picked, everything else just hard to describe. It's almost too minimal and not special enough for me. Like, it's also not like they could be editorial just because it's from her, but like if I didn't know it was from her brand, I wouldn't think twice to look at it. That's how I see it.
I'm gonna pull this comment from Nat, and I think you hit the nail with the hammer. So okay, so I think a person who succeeded in appealing to the masses and was very surprising is Victoria Beckham from the Spice Girls. Her aesthetic is very simple and clean. Maybe Phoebe Philo's future market. Yeah, actually, it's got a bit of that similar vibe. Very clean, got a little, fun vibe here, pants that expand a bit, high-waisted, oversized shirts. Yeah, clean, sharp cuts.
But I like Victoria's designs, or at least her direction in terms of like the fitting better, because herself is quite a petite woman. And so if she's gonna make anything, it has to fit her, right? Yes, she has a great body already, but she's still pretty small as a person. She's not like 5'8" or anything like that. As far as I remember, she's not that tall. And so her understanding of like the more general body size in general, like people are not all 5'8" tall, right? I think that's why she succeeded at that. Although she has very, very good personal style, which is all the minimal but super cool designs. So she has that edge, plus her understanding of normal size people. So I feel like she really succeeded at that. Which is why hers really appeals to the mass. I agree. And even her makeup line is very successful, actually.
Oh, I actually really like her makeup. I'm always looking at it. It's just that it's not so easy to buy.
Yeah.
Here, she doesn't ship to Singapore, so the only way I get it is through my brother in the UK. I said, "Can you buy it?" And then you send it to me, or I buy it through Selfridges, which now stocks Victoria Beckham's stuff, but not the whole line. Her eyeliner is really, really nice. Don't get me started on makeup, but her eyeliner, really, it's really, really nice. And what is the other thing that I really like? Oh, the eyeshadow pot. Oh, so good. So she did really well, actually. Her makeup line, it's good quality. And price wise, it's actually pretty up there. She's not going for the cheaper range, but yeah.
Yeah, I have only a couple of tops from her brand, but yeah, it's nothing like crazy. It's basically just like a little very cropped tank
Mm.
top, but it's the details, like super thick straps, like straight cut, like literally almost like a tube top. So I think that's where her edginess plus her just like the sizing that she does is, yeah, super marketable to everybody. And the quality she uses is very good too. The material. Nat has a question here. More general. How do you feel about shoulder pads on blazers? In general, more structured or too bulky for a 5 feet tall with fuller body? Figuring out
Ooh.
because back to work attire after maternity leave. Good question. I think personally speaking, I like having a bit of both because I don't want all my blazers to have shoulder pads. And, some days you just don't feel like looking so boxy. Like there are just some days you don't want to. But having them on at least a few or a couple of your blazers can really kind of like add to the sharpness of your look. Now, maybe you're on a shorter side, right? 5 feet tall, right? So what can make it better is if you just like just lift the sleeves. It gives a bit of break from how bulky it is, and it doesn't make it longer, but like it somewhat, by showing a bit of arms, it makes your body looks a little shorter, if that makes sense. So if you like a shoulder pad on your blazers, try that. Try just like pulling out the sleeves. It will help. Um, Otherwise, go with no shoulder pads. That's fine too. I think as long as it has a good fabric, and it fits your body, it will look good either way.
Yeah.
That's my 2 cents.
Yeah. I think the shoulder pads would also be. Then you probably have to look like shoulder pads just gives it a bit more, you know, like if you have really droopy shoulders, shoulder pads just give it a little like lifts you up a little bit. But depending on your blazer, right? Because some shoulder pads can be really really stiff, then it might look too much. I kind of prefer shoulder pads, but I'm particular. So if the shoulder pads are, there's too much sponge in it, right? And it just makes this part look really, really bulky. I'm not a fan of it. But there is just enough that lifts it up, but still has a bit of softness in the curve. I think it looks good, especially for a blazer.
Yeah, you just have to shop around. I think I actually removed the shoulder pads from one of my Balmain jacket. It's the denim jacket. All the
Mm-hmm.
other like cardigans and the blazers, I left it there because it really adds to the look and it really creates that triangle look. But on the denim piece, I just felt like, how should I describe it? Like denim is almost too casual to have so much shoulder pads, and the shoulder pads on Balmain is very, very structured, very thick, because it's literally trying to exaggerate your shoulders. So sometimes sometimes it just depends. You really have to look at which one it is that you're going
That
for.
reminds me. I have like, okay, it's not here, it's in the office, but I have one dupe of a jacket, like a blazer from Lily Silk. Remember that Lily Silk had a very similar jacket
Mm,
to
with the six
Balmain.
button.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And it's really nice. Like it's very, very comfortable. But it has the shoulder pads and I wear it at the office. But so I tried, like so I tried to sort of imagine it without the shoulder pads. It doesn't look uh
Yeah, because
it
that one is
doesn't.
still more like it's a more refined like that blazer is still more serious. So you need
Mm,
that But on the denim jacket, it didn't need it. For me, I didn't feel like the denim jacket necessarily needed it. I kept it, obviously, so I can always put it back, but, like, um, on the denim jacket, I feel like I prefer it more casual without the shoulder pads. It was already still very structured anyway, because the denim is really thick to begin with. It does take a certain frame, Joe. I agree, but I don't think that, as long as you find the right fit for your body, even if you're just 5 feet tall, you can pull off shoulder pads. And some shoulder pads are really, really thin too. It's just adding a bit of structure. So
I like the ones with little bit, like the ones that the Lily Stick one to me is a bit too much. When, like you said, but it does need that structure. It's just that so, like, I feel really upright when I wear it, which is a look, right? It's very serious. But on a day-to-day basis, if I was just wearing that blazer in the office for fun, I'd rather it have a more softer shoulder pad, but still a little bit, because without it, it kind of looks a little slouchy for something that's so structured. Like if it was a big, men's blazer, yeah, that's fine. Without the shoulder pads, it's fine, because it's supposed to look like you're wearing something way too large, just not suitable for you. Not suitable, not for your size. But that's the look. Ned says, I like the PP trench coat, for the price Burberry instead.
Yeah. You know what? It's funny though. I did try, maybe I didn't try enough though, but I did try many Burberry trench coats, and every time I'm just like, it's nice. But something didn't click with me, so I never got it. So it's interesting how you can,
Is
like,
is it the pattern, like the Burberry
no,
checkers?
I don't think, no, I actually like the checker. I actually like the checker. I mean, it could be a combination too. Like, it maybe the one that I liked didn't have the price that I liked, or it could be like vice versa. Maybe I just didn't find any. I don't know. I didn't ever find any that was like, oh, I really love it and I have to get it. And the problem with the weather here as well is that you're not ever going to really just be left with one or two jackets in your wardrobe. You kind of need for all kinds of weather. So maybe there was that too, that I felt like, oh, am I going to have enough occasions to wear this for the whole year? Maybe not. Because a lot of times it rains and then you need a hat. So, like, sometimes I'd rather get something that has a hat attached, or you can detach. It could be a combination of things. So Joe would pick the pants. Yeah, the pants are nice. She has a lot of pants, so at least it's a good selection, even right off her first collection. Yeah, the coat is very nice. She has a few ones. I think the one that I chose was slightly more expensive because it had the detachable scarf, but you could also go with the no scarf as well, which is a little bit more price friendly. Not that it's that affordable anyway, but it's a little less. That's fair. Don't have to like anything. I think that's why it wasn't like, the collection was not, it was hyped out, it was sold out, but it was not so I was not made aware of, like, oh, everyone needs to have that, and then, like, that way, yeah, I didn't really even know what it was all about until now.
Does she even have a store? Let me just check. That's all online, right?
All just exclusively on phoebephilo.com.
Wow.
Which is very, very hard to get a hold if you're not in those countries that they ship. Like, even with Canada, I can't even ship to Canada. I have to ship it to a US address and then go and get it from there, which is super hassly. Like that alone, I'm not gonna do.
Mm. Yeah. I don't know. You're right. For her to be able to sell this collection, her name itself is already super powerful, right? Because no store, just pure online. She was going on, I mean, really, really betting on her brand name. Like people just over the few years just getting so excited that she is coming out with her own brand. Because if you're not in that circle, like you don't read fashion magazines, you don't even watch YouTube, you would not even you not know. But you know Chanel, right? You know about Chanel because it's everywhere, plastered. But this, you had to hear the rumors, right? You had to read entertainment news to be like, oh, Phoebe Philo's coming out her own collection. So yeah, this launch of hers, for it to be sold out, not for masses like us. We hear it like, oh, okay, great, she's coming back, she's making her own collection. But it's the fans of her, right? That just tracks her on IG, sees what she's going on, hears the rumors, just waiting for the drop. Yeah. I think it's really hard, like selling your own brand name and then doing I don't know if she's doing this all on her own without any backing, but if she is, really kudos to her because the investment is it's probably insane. And luckily she got a good initial launch, not from the masses like us who are like, oh my god, so expensive, right? Wasn't her target market anyway.
I think I read, if I remember correctly, that LVMH has a small share
Okay.
in her brand, but it says small, so I don't know how big or small, but like it says small. Aside from that, I didn't see any other information regarding the financial part of it.
Hmm.
But it's been a lot of planning, right? Because she left in 2017, Celine. Her last collection was the fall, or was it the fall or pre-fall 2018 collection. And then she left, but then that's when it was speculated that she would start her own brand, which she announced in 2021, but only in last year, 2023, that it actually came out. So it is a lot of time, like from the time she left to, I'm sure, her own mental plans to do her own branding, and then from that to materialize. It's a lot of work for sure. Yeah. A lot of coordination.
I think it's a dream for all these designers to have their own fashion brand and your namesake, right? Phoebe Philo,
Mhm.
Victoria Beckham. Like, can you imagine if you're one of them? You're like, oh, and somebody walks, I'm wearing Victoria Beckham. It is a moment actually. Like, wow.
It is. I think there's a lot to be proud of, regardless of how people. I think that's, that is what is hard about being so public, whether you're just a small YouTuber being public or such a big person like her, like a big brand designer out there. It's hard to. Um, it's just hard to accept certain commentary, right, regarding how your image or your brand is viewed. So at the end of the day, I think, regardless of the criticism or like the comments that anybody says, or even we said, I think there's a lot to be proud of, like as a creator, as someone, an entrepreneur, as a designer. There's a lot going on behind the scenes just to come up with these things, even though we're like, oh, it's such a small collection, this, that. But it's a lot of work, right, at the end of the day. So a lot to be very, very proud of and to admire, honestly, like coming from the point of view of yes, it's not for the masses, but it's still a great collection. It's still really nice. Like if I had that kind of silhouette, yeah, I'd totally be in it. If I was into that kind of aesthetic, yeah, I would totally be in it as well. Or maybe I would just buy a few pieces, but those would be like such special pieces because those are Phoebe Philo's first collection. Like that is a big
Mm-hmm.
deal too, right? If you think about it, like maybe in 10 years time or 20 years time, she's a modern current designer, fashion designer that's very, very successful, right? You have to think about those things too.
So to your point about first collection, the Chanel 19 also had a lot of memories to it, right? Everybody's like, this is
Mhm.
the last bag that Carl ever made and designed. So
Yeah.
there is a lot to connect, that piece that you hold or you buy to this history. It's the last bag,
Mhm.
the first collection. It's interesting. I think if you appreciate fashion and you enjoy it, whether it's a bag or accessory or clothes, it's it's like a piece of that little part of history. I mean, in
Yeah,
fashion history, it's like wow, wow.
it totally is. Which is why, speaking of Chanel, I know we always go back to either Chanel or Hermes. But speaking of the 19 and even the 22, actually, I wanted to talk about the 22 too. Like a lot of people still ask me, I'm like, oh, like, okay, you're downsizing. Are you ever going to let go of the 19? And the 19 is just
Mm,
one of those that I'm like, you know what? I can't. It's not just a piece of history, but the bag is actually really good to use,
mhm,
and it looks good, and it's different. It's very different. It's a departure from I guess the Gabrielle is really a big departure from the classic flop, but I think what I appreciate about the 19 is that it's still quite different, but similar to a classic flop in many ways, right? It's a flop bag, so I really like it, and it's actually very, very easy to use. Yes, it's a little bit outdated in the sense that okay, it's been a few years that it's been around, a lot of people own it, and this and that. But if you just judge it from the functionality and still the look, um, it's still very much relevant. And then the 22, again, 22 is Virginie's first bag, right? It's really her first, the most
true.
permanent out of the permanent line, her first bag. Yeah, her bag has, wow, more criticism than anything, but the people that do own it and that do use it understand it. It's really for using it.
Mm. I
From
still
the
get
point of
questions
view of
about the 22 very often. Like just recently, a girl on like on my YouTube said that same comment like I it wasn't bad for me, but after seeing it for years, because it's been what 2 years now, like this, yeah, 2 years, 22 now 24, right? So 2 years, just like more than a year. I finally took the plunge to buy it, and I love it.
mhm.
So seem to get a lot of that on my one of my reviews.
Yeah, a lot of people that didn't like it at first, all that and then end up buying it, like it. You can judge it all you want, but at the end of the day, there are bags that you like because you just want to collect it, but there are bags that you like because it's just so easy to use.
I think it's
Even
the
you didn't
price
like it
point.
at first, and now you love it.
Yeah,
So,
yeah. I think it's the price point. So
yeah,
it's the
it's always
it's
the
the
price.
yeah, it's the price point. It came actually when it started. It was already so expensive, right?
Mhm.
So it's a difficult number to swallow, and knowing that it's so expensive and it's a bag and it's the type of bag that is supposed to be used, so you're not gonna. I think it's the mindset of the bag, right? So if you were to buy something really expensive, say the Chanel Classic Flap, there's something about the Chanel Classic Flap that if you buy caviar, structure will most likely hold. The bag will look pretty pristine. But this Chanel 22, it's hard to swallow because you know you're gonna use it and especially like my sized medium, it's gonna it's gonna look like a trash bag, okay? But once you pass that hurdle and take that away, hard because the price is expensive, but once you can pass it, that's when you say, okay, great bag. But it's hard because it's the price point is the one that makes us want to really keep this bag as pristine as possible. But it's challenging, almost impossible because of the leather type, the slouchiness of it. So anyway, of course, coming from us who want to keep our things and have the resale value and all that. But yeah.
But this is where it's not fair to compare the two, because people that invest in a classic flap will not be wearing it every day in and out and like throw it around. They would never do that, because it's not the type of bag that you can anyway, because you can hardly even put enough things to go by the entire day. So it's a very unfair comparison between the two. Even the mini size fits more than the small size classic flap, like seriously. So I think that when people realize that and understand that, and it's very hard to realize it until you own it. Again, it boils down to you owning it, and then understanding how it's being used. Then they realize that it is a great bag.
Okay, and there's one Joe question from Joe. We can ask anyone. So Joe's asking, if you could choose your own collab, which brand would you like to collab with? For the love of bags, like LOL, it's Hermes. Actually, I don't think I could collab with Hermes. Hermes is so uppity, okay?
Oh, for the love of bags. Actually, for the love of bags, it's not Hermes for me. I love Hermes. Like, I honestly love how
it would be like a dream. Like, oh my god, Hermes called me, but I think it'll be hard to collab with them.
I mean, okay, obviously I would collab with Hermes if they would have me, but it would not be the first brand I would associate with in terms of aesthetic. I would 100% go and collab with Chanel. That's just how it is.
I was thinking, like,
I would
it has to be Chanel or Amy. What do you think I would go?
Chanel. I would do Chanel. Not that they would have me, but like, I would do Chanel.
What do you think I would pick? I already know what I'm picking. Let's take a guess.
I think you would pick LV.
You're right. I would. Yeah. I would totally pick LV. Oh my god.
You.
Because I think if I were to do a collab, it'd be fun, right? Fun. I just go crazy. And the way LV's aesthetic is right now, it's just all over the place. Right up my alley.
It doesn't matter. Like, if you're just gonna do a collab, do something that you really want to do.
Yeah.
Whether it's gonna sell or like be a timeless piece or be something crazy, super out there, I think do what you really want. If you have that opportunity, why not? Obviously, I think these bigger brands are not gonna give you full creative rights anyway, because they have to answer to people. So they're probably going to be like, oh, no, we're not doing this. Oh, no, we're not doing that. And then it's going to end up being a product that is a compromise, but still. It'll be fun. It'll be really, really nice.
Wow, Miss Charm.
Miss Charm, wow. My work, I pull it. My work did a collab with Hermes for some client invitations to the Olympics. So cool.
Fendi or Versace for EJ.
Nice. Yeah, it's a very different.
Okay, I have sorry, before you continue, do you feel like Fendi's been really quiet lately? I don't know. Okay, I don't know. Because firstly, we're so into H, we're so into Chanel, a little bit of LV here and there. But generally, when I open my YouTube because YouTube is where I get my fashion updates. Okay, but when I open my YouTube, other than Ah, that Australian. Other than
Oh,
that, I need to eat more ginkgo biloba because my brain.
but yeah, for me it's Instagram. For me, it's like what I see on
Oh yeah, and also
Instagram.
Instagram.
That
Yeah,
just
Instagram. Mainly YouTube, but yeah, I don't see a lot of Dale. Okay, besides
yeah.
Dale who does Fendi, but I don't see a lot of hype on Fendi lately. It's been quiet, huh? So yeah, when you brought up Fendi, I was like, oh yeah, I haven't heard of Fendi for so long.
It's probably because we only follow the not enough people that like Fendi. It's probably that. I would assume.
Possibly.
But also you
Possibly.
have to be reminded, right? Like with Chanel and even Hermes, Chanel especially, they have okay, not counting the Neige collection and all those, it's still 5 collection that is like a solid
That's
launch
true.
every year. Like solid 5 collection where there's like a 20 like a number and an alphanumerical, right? Like literally people are looking forward to those collections and then talking about it, like on YouTube talking about it. So like that's why Chanel is always relevant. It's like always being talked about, always being judged, always being criticized or hyped about. Whereas Fendi and other brands, it's not that they don't have anything, but I feel like even though they do have their their runways too, um, it's not as mainstream, at least not here or on
Mm.
social media maybe. And so they're also less coveted. Let's just be fair, right? Like at the end of the day, they're less coveted. Less people
Don't
are
say that.
after
Don't say
their
that. Don't
thing.
have Fendi fans out there.
Not enough. Yeah, not enough. And so even the people that
Not
we
enough.
follow, like, yes, there's Dale and there's maybe a couple other people that are really into Fendi. But even then, like, I think if you just buy, let's say just bags, right? There's only so many bags you can buy. If you don't start buying everything else around the brand, it's also very hard to kind of see it all the time. With Chanel and even Hermes, people buy a bunch of different things. Like Chanel ready to wear, although very, very pricey, is still so popular. People buy it. It's always sold out too. At least the
Mm.
popular piece, at least the popular size, always sold out. Accessories, people still buy it. Bags, of course. Hermes, just because of the journey. So again, everything gets bought up. With Fendi, it's not so much the case. Like, yeah, sometimes there's that pair of shoes that people like. There's, I don't know, that certain one thing with the logo that people like, but it's not really mainstream. Yeah, I think that's the reason why. It's just not as coveted, I feel. Not with the general masses.
Joe is so funny. Joe said she'll pick Longchamp so that more people carry my designs.
That's a good one.
Clever, clever, yeah. That's how you get your name out there. Joe, I'm wearing a Joe.
Yeah, I worry less about whether people want to buy it. It's just more for what I want to do.
Good one.
This charm. I have several foldable Fendi bags that you got for 100, 250. I use them all the time to carry stuff. Foldable bags. Huh.
Foldable Fendi bags.
Interesting.
Is it the nylon ones?
I was wondering the same thing.
Is it Fendi nylon? No, wait, that's Prada. Sorry. Wait. Does Fendi make nylon bags?
Maybe they're Miss Charmy, I know you're into like vintage and buying pre-love. Are they like from a long time ago? Ah, okay. Nat, I'd be interested in YSL or LV. I also can't help but stare at Fendi's Pokemon collection for the Year of Dragon. Totally was not expecting that.
Oh,
Yeah, I
let me
saw
see
that
that.
somewhere, but then I saw it and then I forgot it.
Oh, let me take a look. Fendi Pokemon. Oh yeah, Fendi Pokemon.
Miss Charm. Yeah, they're vintage. Yeah. Canvas, Zuka pattern. Nice. I have a big Longchamp bag. I was just showing it in a video that I was filming. That's my carry everywhere, everything bag. Like when I need a huge bag to carry a bunch of things, like a bunch of clothes or a bunch of different things to bring to a family's house. That's the one that I use. So handy, and so good because, like you said, Miss Charm is like canvas. It's like waterproof.
Oh my gosh. It's so cute. Like, I'm looking at the Fendi collection. The Fendi Fendi fragment Pokemon collection. I'm not sure. But yeah, so appropriate for Chinese New Year because Pokemon has like a dragon, right? I mean, one of the Pokemons has some kind of like dragon, and it's like dragon and all that. So cute.
It's funny because you find it cute, and I was like, I saw it and I just forgot it. Like literally, I forgot it. I'm just like, doesn't pertain to me. That's how
Not something I would
interested I
invest
was.
in for sure. I have to be like massive fan, like Pokemon fan to pay these kind of prices. But yeah, like if I'm born in the year of the dragon, that's cute. I'd buy like these earrings, these dragon earrings, which is actually Pokemon Fendi.
I think I'm not born in the year of dragon, but I think my sign is compatible with dragon. Or
Oh,
well,
you're chicken, right? Chicken.
it's not like the most compatible, but it is compatible. I think the most compatible if with me is snake and ox.
Rat.
No, not rat. Rat and I are not compatible. Snake and ox are quite compatible, but I remember dragon was also not bad. Not bad.
Yes, your is snakes and ox and dragon. No,
Yeah.
you're compatible to the dragon. Yeah.
Mhm.
There you go. We should wear some dragon long.
That's what I was thinking. I'm like, oh, you're saying earrings, but then I probably still wouldn't buy them. But you know what I mean? I was just thinking like, oh, I mean, I could buy something, but then that's just an excuse to buy something. I don't need an excuse to buy things. I have enough things I want
Loki
to
wants
buy.
the Pokemon, but get on. I would. That's why I said it's actually quite cute. But I had to be. I have to really like. It's like a combination of everything, right? You gotta like it because the baguette has the dragon years coming out.
You know what? It's to be fair, I have to check it out in person. So if the next time I go shopping, because I haven't been shopping lately, but if the next time I go to a nice, either the nice luxury department store that we have here, or maybe during my trip, because I'm going on a trip soon, if I have a chance to check it out in person, then I'll be judging it more fairly. Because right now I just saw a picture and I'm like, oh, I forgot about it. So,
Yeah, look at that.
oh yeah.
I mean, it's cute. Like, but it's Pokemon, so but it's cute. Silver is in, huh? Like, there's a lot of silver. Okay, silver, palladium. Don't bother, Amy. Don't bother. It's sold out. Okay, this is Singapore, but it's sold out.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Like I said, if it's meant to be, I'll see some. If it's not meant to be, it's not meant to be.
Wow.
And I'm not really like, oh, I must go find it. It's not like that. Oh my goodness.
Oh my goodness. I totally buy this. Okay, so this is the it's sold out, so don't bother. So this is the dragon earring and the ball, the pearl. You know the one that when you watch the lion dance and the dragon is chasing the pearl. This is very, very prosperous. Like in Chinese, it's like Wow, ho ong Dragon and Pearl. Dang, I'd buy it. $600. Yeah, okay. Okay. For Chinese New
probably
Year,
wouldn't
it
buy it.
actually is what do you call it, like symbolic, because now a lot of people are buying like dragon earrings because of the dragon year, or rings or stuff like that. But why do ordinary when you can go Fendi?
I still wouldn't buy it. I'm sorry. But I will look at it. I'll look at it and then I'll be like, oh, okay.
Yeah. Sold out. Wow. 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 Wow.
It's always sold out. Everything is always sold out. Did they even do
I
it on
know.
purpose just to like make it
Crazy.
shortage and make everything sold out so that it seems like it's better than it is? But well, we don't know. Next week, we have 2 luxury live shows. Both are on my channel. So the members, I'll see you all then. We're going to talk about the Mini Kelly and our wish list. So it'll be a good one. So we'll see you next week, guys. Bye.
Bye.